When you have athletes that play so vehemently for a coach within a program, and that coach decides that he wants to take his talents go elsewhere, where does that leave the players as far as what are they going to do when it comes to their future? A lot of them were left wondering, what is their next move? What's the best option for them? And what this young man decided to do, he said, hey, I got to put myself in position for me to possibly hit that rung to get up to the next level, because he has aspirations of playing in the NFL. But guys, we're going to get into exactly what went down with this young man and what was the move that he made. Let's get into it right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in the free to tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing and get straight to it, because I know y'all like, Coach, what's going on? Well, guys, understand this. We see coaches come and go all the time when it comes to finding better positions at other colleges or universities to go coach teams. Or better yet, if the money ain't right in one spot, hey, these folks over here, they want to pay me. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and hit that lever on the daggone slot machine. Ching-ching. Yeah, I got all sevens. I'm going to go ahead and cash on out. They go over there and take that route. But now you know what? People tend to get upset when it comes to the athletes who look at their futures for themselves to figure out, hey, what's the best option for me? What's the next move that I need to make sure that I'm able to get to where I'm looking to go in life? Well, you know what? This young man decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and bust a move myself. Because when you see your coach leave and go to another organization right after the SWAC championship, right after the team loses the SWAC championship, pew, out of there like gas, boy. He out of there. Headed on over to none other than Southern University. I ain't mad at Coach Dooley for making that change. He wanted to go somewhere else where he had been wanting to become the new head coach for the longest. But you got the players behind trying to figure out, like, man, what am I going to do about my situation? And you know what? He figured out one thing for certain. He had to bust a move. But it wasn't only just him that made that move. It was several other players that made the same type of moves. And it has me wonder, like, what's going on over there at PV? I mean, can somebody answer that question for me? I mean, is there some type of backlash or some type of, scrutiny that's going on with the players as far as coaches moving on, players to say, hey, I think I want to take my talents and go elsewhere? Understanding, let's make sure we're clear on this, because players can always choose to go somewhere else, just like coaches. A lot of times situations don't fit for them, in which they find somewhere else to go that's a better fit. And they're able to do the things that they want to do, which is get out there and compete. You hear me say that all the time. When Coach Dooley decided that he was going to leave and go somewhere else, you already know the rumblers was on and popping over there at Prairie View, because a lot of the players didn't know what's going on. I mean, it's like, hey, what's happening? I mean, there was no coach put in place. I mean, I don't think a coach was put in place until like right before the spring game, in which that was Coach McDowell, who was the defensive coordinator. So I understand that as well. But we got to get back to what took place here. What caused all of this to pop off? Because remember, the leader of that defensive front over there, Jason Dumas, he had posted a tweet saying, hey man, what's going on? What are we doing over here? What's happening? And guess what? This young man, he decided himself, he said, you know what? I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. When Jason Dumas asked that question, what's going on? Who's gonna be the coach over here? Who's leading the team? I mean, that's all these players want to know. Who's gonna lead us in the battle? And that sent shockwaves, because you got to understand, when you see a leader on your team ask that question and no one has no answers, you got to make a move. When you see your top three, not one, not two, three, your top three defensive players in the past 2 years decide they're going to leave your program and go elsewhere, that's a red flag. You have to ask the question, just like Jason Dumas did, what's going on over there? After last spring, you saw Reggie Stubblefield, who was a leader on the Prairie View A&M Panthers defense. He decided he was going to take his talents and go into the transfer portal, and with 1 year of eligibility left. And we already saw what happened with the eligibility, because there was some fuganaga going on over there where daggone his paperwork got held up, and he almost didn't have the opportunity to transfer and play over at Kansas State, but things did work out in his favor. But now here we are once again. Now we got Jason Dumas. He decides he's going to leave, and he goes to none other than Southern University, where the previous head coach, Coach Dooley, was at. Now let's look at this right here. Let's look at this landscape of how everything works here. You got your top leading defensive lineman who leaves the program, in which this young man last season, Dumas' output out there on the field was crazy. This young man had 17.5 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, 18 quarterback hurries, 3 forced fumbles, and not to mention this young man led the team in all of those stats to go along with 38 tackles. Where are you going to get that type of output from another player from? I'm waiting to see how things going to add up this season with Prairie View. Not saying Coach McDowell can't get somebody out there that can get out there and be close to what Dumas did, but I'm just saying, you don't want to see players like that walk out the program. But now you got another big one that decides to leave, none other than Mr. Drake Cheatham. Remember, Reggie Stubblefield left and went over to Kansas State after the 2021 spring football season. And guess what? You got Cheatum now, who was the Panthers' leading tackler with 86 tackles and 5 interceptions in both of those categories. He decides, hey, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to lead this program, go over to Kansas State and get my, continue to keep sharpening my skills and get more eyes on me to see what I'm capable of doing over there so that I can possibly get myself into the NFL and continue to keep playing football, which I'm not mad at him for doing that, but you got to understand, these players are looking for opportunity just like the coaches. So when we hear folks get upset about coaches making moves and going elsewhere to take their talent to get more money or to get put in a better situation where the facilities or whatever might be better for them to recruit the players that come into the program, you can't get mad at these players for that because, like I said, you got Reggie Stubblefield, leader on your defense. You got Jason Dumas, defensive line leader on your defense. Now you got Drake Cheatham, leading tackler on the team. All 3 of these guys have left in a matter of 2 seasons. 2 seasons. And I'm trying to understand what's going on with all this. But you know what? Jason Dumas is playing over with Coach Dooley over at Southern University. That's a great pickup for them because they can raise some noise over there. Dumas and Joy Lewis on that front line, that's going to be crazy over there. I don't think nobody's really ready to see what Coach Dooley and that defensive coordinator is going to do over there with their defense as far as with the strategies that they're going to have on their defensive front. But remember one thing, you still got to get out there and play. And I'm telling you right now, that game between Southern and Prairie View, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. October 8th, Southern University versus Prairie View. That's the game that's going to be circled on the calendar that everybody's going to be waiting to see. Dooley goes back to Prairie View to coach against head coach Bubba McDowell. We're going to see how everything turns out because I know they're going to do some great things over there in both programs. I'm sure Coach Bubba McDowell's going to have the team ready to get out there and do what they need to do. As well as Coach Dooley, he's going to make sure that the Southern Jaguars are ready to rock and roll and get out there and compete this season. Because I'm telling you right now, it's almost like Coach Dooley is the new Thanos of the SWAT. Because guess what? They just got Noah Bodden from Grambling State. Now I'm going to tell you, I don't know what's going on with all this collection of athletes that's happening right now, but today's price ain't yesterday's price, and business have definitely picked up. So we're going to see exactly what's going on here with all of these teams as far as what the output's going to be, what the record's going to look like, who's going to win this game between Prairie View and Southern on October 8th this year. Drake Cheatham, I'm wishing you the best of luck over at Kansas State. Hoping to hear your name get called come next spring when the draft takes place because you got the goods to get out there on the field to do it. And like I said, I'm going to be a little selfish when I say this, but don't get mad at Coach for it. I wish you would have found another HBCU squad to stick with and do your thing with them because I'm already knowing the eyes are already on you. And trust me, somebody's going to come pick you up. Believe that. But, hey, I'm wishing you guys nothing but the best of luck. Prairie View, Southern University, as well as Drake Cheatham over at Kansas State, and look forward to seeing all of you guys do phenomenal things this upcoming season. Until next time, be the one and lead.